So if Slardar can get his sprint off, if Jug can get his spin off, Doom's not all that effective versus these heroes. Of course, it's very good versus both Tusk and Shadow Shaman, but when you pick a Doom, you often pick him to counter a core. And that doesn't seem to be the case so far for Infamous. They do ban the Lina. So heavy, they're looking at it as sort of heavy magical damage to deal with the PA. And to some extent the Doom. I mean, Doom has a lot of base HP. So for me, I would probably look at another physical damage core. You can't really pick a Medusa here for Infamous because you're into an OD and even a Doom. But the Titan can round out the lineup for Gorillaz-Pride. We've seen a lot of good Elder Titan play recently. And it certainly helps a lot versus push lineups. Juggernaut, Shadow Shaman are pretty good at push. But they're also both pretty resilient to Echo Stomp. However, if you bait out the spin early with an Echo Stomp, maybe you're able to initiate with a Doom thereafter. That could bode well for you in the fight. So I do like the Elder Titan pick quite a bit. You have the natural order to kind of counteract, offensively at least, you know, the Corrosive Haze. They've got minus armor on their side. You've got minus armor on yours. It is going to be the Medusa. So, you know, you always consider Medusa as a hero versus the PA. Obviously, PA very hard to kill the Medusa, and when she jumps in, it's a, you know, mostly free stone gaze. They do have a great front line here with the Tusk and the Juggernaut. They have Slardar and the Jug. They have save with the Tusk. So I like this as a Medusa game, and that's why it's a hero that I flagged, but I don't like it as a Medusa game because it's into an OD. We saw how well Koto did last game up against RoboZ's mid. And Medusa tends to have a pretty rough time, at least in the early levels. But I think this matchup goes pretty evenly overall. In fact, maybe the Medusa wins slightly if we consider there being no rotations. And being an Oracle and an Elder Titan, you may see an Elder Titan come in once into mid, or you may see a rotation from the PA. But I think this should be more often than not a true 1v1, Medusa versus OD. So I don't mind the pick for that matchup. I do mind it a little later into the game. But the Medusa works overall. Especially because she doesn't have to be the siege engine. Often in Medusa lineups, you throw your Medusa in front of the tower, let her right-click it, wait for a reaction from the enemy, and then counter. And with a Juggernaut on your side in this game, you can let the Jug do that and let the Medusa be the second line. And that's where I really like this pick here, you know, as opposed to kind of general Medusa lineups. Again, you're looking for a physical damage core who lanes well mid, who can deal with PA. And so that's where I was looking at Medusa and Monkey King as the big ones. And I suppose they favor the Medusa here for a little bit more late game. You do definitely, if you feel that the team, and I'm not saying this necessarily is the case for Gorillaz-Pride, but definitely if you feel that you are better than a team, then it is smart to secure your late game in a draft. We see EG often kind of draft with this philosophy that if they take it to late game, we're going to make less mistakes, we're going to be more coordinated, and we're going to win at that juncture in the game. You know, it's not to say that we're going to concede the lanes, but it is to say that we're very confident in our late game, and I think maybe that's what we're seeing here from Infamous with this 5th pick Medusa, is that, you know, if we do what we did last game, we don't let them roll us, we stymie the bleeding, or we even do well in the lanes, for that matter, then our late game is very secure. So nothing too unusual with the item builds. Indeed, Lady Dusa. It is brilliant. We got a little South American Dota. We got more Rage Please back. It's good to be back here on twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit. Hope it's been enjoyable for you guys so far. Hope your Friday night has been enjoyable as well. Crack open a beer and get ready for this one. I am Canadian, so, well, I won't say that, but I was going to offer an alternative to beer, but we are on Twitch, so I'll refrain. Go Canada. And, you know, with South American Dota, it's customary that we get a few pauses. into this one. Maybe shake down the lanes a little bit. Slardar Tusk is a very strong dual lane. I think we're likely to see that. Jug and Shadow Shaman are also quite strong in a dual lane configuration. The Shadow Shaman, thank you for that, Pepita. We appreciate it. I love that, how the pings get... Oh god, I'm trying to dodge them. How the sound dissipates the further you are from the location of it. Cool little things that they added to this game we love. But we'll see if either side decides to run a tri-lane. Definitely feels like Radiant's tri-lane is very strong. In a defensive manner, it feels like G-Pride have a very strong tri-lane as well. But I don't think they can afford to put the Doom alone, because I think he just feeds if that's the case. So, you know, despite dual lanes being a lot less popular recently, for good reason, with the changes to denies again, you know, to changing denies to gold over experience as they once were. We've been seeing a lot more tri-lanes and sacrificed off-laners. And I think this game we might actually get dual lanes. Or try-on-try. And some part of me wants to say that a tri-lane on a tri-lane will benefit G-Pride quite a bit. It will benefit Infamous in the sense that Medusa gets that pure 1v1 where after, you know, 5 or so levels she just takes over. But I think it benefits G-Pride because they get their Doom a 1v1. And I think in any case, other than him getting a 1v1, he has a bad lane. But, I mean, we'll see. Oracle Doom's pretty cool in the sense that he has a big base HP pool, so there's a lot of wiggle room, so to speak, for the Oracle to keep his core alive. It is going to be a tri-lane going down to the bottom lane for now with Pepita being sacked, but I don't think it'll stay that way. Both sides loading out in that sort of tri-lane configuration. We'll see. Smoke expiring on the Radiant side.
"30 seconds to battle."
Oh, yes.
And it looks like we'll trade 2 for 2 here, potentially. Bottom lane is rather unguarded, though, by Panthera. Wu, if he's feeling so confident, may make this move up to the north. Sladen, though. Oh, Sladen. You poor, poor soul. Makes his way off to the left, interestingly, and is going to get a crush off onto 2. Meanwhile, obviously more important things going on for the Oracle, who selects the bounty rune. And it still will end up being a 2 for 2. For 2 for Wu. Haha. Did he get the first one? No, he didn't. I tried. So it is Sladen going to be sacked, and it is Panthera going to be sacked. So this is, you know, customary or standard for what we've seen recently in the meta. And a really nice block by Koto here. Already off to a good start in his mid lane as far as the positioning of the wave goes. And we saw him last... Oh, the miss by RoboZ. That's an unfortunate one. And we see this zoning happening both sides of the map. And this is just rough times for the offlaners. You could make the argument that the underfarmed Doom is certainly more impactful than the underfarmed Slardar in this one. So it's curious to me as why they didn't bring the Tusk up top. Doom does have the Devour mechanic to come back, and he does have that level 6 button, which is always going to be impactful in a team fight. The 6 for Slardar is impactful as well, but I don't think equally so. But we'll see. 6-0 for RoboZ, though, on this Dusa. Really nice considering the positioning of the waves early on. So seems already doing better than... OD, of course, does not have great base damage, so that helps. But seems already she's doing better than she once was in Game 1. So they bring Sladen down bottom now on the Titan. And Tomato going to clean up the wave here. Oh my, flying from top lane? Shackle though, Moo's going to come through. Infernal Blade going to cancel the Shackle. Woo's going to drop. First blood goes to Sladen. Sladen though, it looks like he may pay for this. Tomato with a nice walk forward tree cut, but, well, Sladen's too quick. 358 MS. Level 1 on that Elder Titan. And Tomato with a lowly 306. Very cool play with the Oracle False Promise. I guess they TP'd in and had it precasted. And Sladen walked up to find him, catches the Titan, and then slows up the enemy. So really cool play there. Still does not have a stomp available, level 1 on the Titan. And the Doom is being starved rather heavily, but does hit that level 2 mark. Slardar looks like he just got his under the tower. Raisin going to do a little loop-de-loop. Doesn't have a ward or anything, so maybe was looking for a courier snipe or something of the sort. Perhaps looking to pincer in the Slardar. They do have some vision here. Pepita maybe going to look to like pull this wave. Certainly that's going to be the case. Try and farm it up on the neutrals as much as he can. And these are the kind of plays. This is, you know, I'll be honest. I really liked the dual lane meta a lot. But as an off lane player myself, I missed this kind of shenanigans. With the like level 1 TP behind the tier 2 as Omni Knight. Just drag the wave back and forth and TP under your tower. This kind of stuff really greases my wheels. Now body blocking in Sladen. They already got the kill on Panthera bottom, and the Ether Shock into one more right click from Woo. Double kill for this defensive tri-lane of Infamous. A very strong tri-lane we mentioned early on, especially offensively. Whereas the Oracle Titan +1 is very strong defensively. This Tusk Shadow Shaman duel can be very aggressive. See how this mid lane's doing. 18-6 to 18-4, so very even thus far between the two. It feels like, in general, Medusa starts to take a lead at this point. Looks like Robozy should be able to deny this, and is. Throws out the Mystic Stake as well, just to tickle him on the backside. Wu does end up going down to the Dire. Okay, so he suicided under the tower. We saw the spat of blood there. Why not suicide to the creeps? Not sure if he was running away from someone, but in any case. He takes a spill in bottom lane. Going to come back with a full health and mana pool. Shackle's going to be there. Tomato does have a spin. Gets a couple right clicks off. Fate's Edict is there, so for now the Doom's fine, but he ends up dropping. Echo Stomp only connects on 2. Tomato has the healing ward as well. And a nicely placed Shards and Shackle combo get Infamous off to a good early start. Berna has the highest CS in the game with 40 and 18 denies as well. So if you look at the net worth, she's at the top, but only by a bit over the Juggernaut, who's sitting on 2 kills and 2 assists right now. And the Slardar has recovered decently. He's looking at his level 3 shortly, so not too far behind the Doom. So overall feels pretty good for Infamous here, up 1-0 in this one. Speaking of Infamous and looking, they are looking for a kill in mid lane, and they might just find Koto. Smoke pops, Wu finds him on the backside, throws out a right click, and now Tusk gonna chase forward aggressively, has the Shards to block, and the Shackle is there as well. Sladen's gonna be too late to this party, but he should get a nice stomp off onto 3. Oracle nearby as well. And the Fortune's End merely going to put a stop to the aggression of Infamous, unable to find any return kills. Infamous, though, they do waddle away rather low. Robo will be salved up, whether by himself or his teammates, not sure. But in any case, is in fighting shape once again. And conveniently, the regen rune, bottom. Woo, is he going to see it? He does! He catches a glimpse. Big plays from the Shadow Shaman. And now Tomato feels more than capable enough of laning here alone. But he will get some support inbound from the SS regardless. The Slardar looks like he found almost a full level of experience recently and is going to find his 4 pretty soon. Tomato does not have an Omni Slash just yet. And now, Fortune's End going to connect onto Wu. Could be in a little bit of trouble. Healing Ward is there, though, and nicely positioned by Tomato as well, such that the Oracle cannot click it down. Wu, though, you need to get back towards that Healing Ward, my friend. OD 25 and 5, Medusa 33 and 13, and we do see the Medusa advantage start to play its part. Koto does get his mana refilled, though, after that proc. Ryzen is looking to pincer perhaps here in the bottom lane. There's a sentry down, but no ward for the dire side. And the Radiant actually scanning the trees. They would have been correct just a moment ago. But just as the scan expires, Oracle walks through the trees once again. So now Tomato feeling rather safe. And making a move towards mid lane or the Radiant side. Still though, Tomato, I mean, he's free to do what he pleases at this point. The PA, though, similar situation. She is level 7 with 62 CS. So feeling very good on Berna. OD, he's used his imprisonment. Could be in a little bit of trouble mid, but looks like they weren't weary of it. And now on the low ground is the Oracle. Shackle not doing any damage, but it doesn't really matter as it holds him in place long enough. Wu gonna get the kill there. Tomato comes in for some experience, and we'll continue to farm away. The Doom gonna make it back to safety. Sladen rotates in mid, but the imprisonment already used here by Koto, so Robo-Z feeling just fine. Gonna do some creep farming. Scouting with the Astral Spirit by Sladen, doesn't find much. Papita is unfortunately a bit weak at this point, so he's going to have to back off. Still, though, this creep farming goes rather slow for the Titan. Tier 1 still pretty healthy on the dire side, off lane, and similarly on the Radiant. And both Tier 1s in mid also healthy. We won't even look at the safe lane Tier 1s, as those definitely haven't been touched. The virtues of a tri-lane. Koto's been forced back, I suppose, into the jungle. Dire have some pretty decent vision here. They do see these rotations, and I believe they saw this smoke. Yeah, the ping is literally right on top of the supports from the PA. So not only is she farming, but keeping her wits about her. They will posture defensively here. They're doing a little bit of farming. Wu and Moose nearby. Literally a tag team. Berna, use the blink. They may want to go on her now. They'll find the shards. She has no blink. Tag team is there. Shackle as well. Oh, a beautiful stomp connecting onto 2. Snowball is there, but it's a 4-man rotation. And it's all because of this deep ward in the Radiant jungle. That Gorillaz-Pride is able to make this happen. 2 kills. They'll secure the second one for the OD. So the first one going the way of the Titan, and this ward, MVP of that engagement. As we saw the PA ping the movement. Moose is going to find himself a D ward mid. Nice for him. And perhaps the Dusa can begin to put some pressure into this, knowing that's denied. Pita going to take a spill. Not the biggest kill, but regardless, they keep their PA alive. It's a big rotation from the Radiant that was thwarted. So very nicely done by G-Pride. They're going to keep themselves in this one. I'll switch to net worth because I'm a bad caster. And looking pretty even across the board. It's like we mentioned early on, if both the Doom and the Slardar are going to be sacked, the Doom will be a little bit better off because he has Devour. Slardar is a pretty piss-poor solo offlaner, but is slowly approaching that level 6 milestone. Siege creep up in mid. Moose wants to tank the tower to keep it alive. Robo-Z will do it a bit with his mana shield. And we'll see if they can defend here. They will have a TP inbound, one from the Oracle as well, in fact. So for now, this tier 1 will be standing, but as we kind of mentioned, as soon as they denied up that ward, start to push some pressure into this mid tier 1. And knowing there were 5 heroes top allowed them to do so. Bit of a deep ward here for the Radiant side as well, going to be placed down. And the calm of Dota as we hear the chirps of the birds. Surprisingly, Tomato has done very well as far as farming goes. I mean, he's 2-0-3, whereas the PA is 0-0-2, so just 2 assists. So that certainly helps the Juggernaut. But CS-wise, he's not too far behind, and we saw at one point in the game, it was like 41-26 for the PA, so... So the supports trading a bit in mid. This would be a good brawl. Who's ready for a fight? Titan versus Tusk. Tomato yet to use that Omni Slash, I believe. Level 9 already. But he is happily farming away as the Yasha. Oh, it's a full Diffusal Blade, excuse me. Flown out. That is going to be a real nice up against the Oracle, up against... the Doom. RoboZ does have her Ayasha, Jiren, aka Jiren.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Moose really sniffing this out here. Puts a sentry down, keeping himself hidden in the trees. Some high level stuff. Knows that, you know, with their tier 1 being low, that they're going to want to make a move towards the enemies to relieve some pressure. But Infamous are just well aware of the positioning of the Dire right now, and they are spread across the map, trying to get things done. Moose will finally show mid lane as he feels they've backed away, and that is because, I guess, Wu is also worried here that no one's showing on lane. The PA now will show. Oh, the Fortune's End. Gonna find him. Can he TP out as it connects? Panthera nearby too. And he's in trouble. Gets the Hex off. Into the fog. But he will be killed off here shortly. Infamous though, well, a nice play by Wu as well. He secures the fact that the PA will not get the kill. Infamous happy to trade it for him for a tier 1 top. And they almost get the tier 1 mid as well. In fact, they may lose their Tusk for it now. TP's inbound though from the Slardar. Nicely placed. Echo Stomp, but the Walrus Punch going to interrupt him. Doom goes out onto the Juggernaut. Stomp going to connect onto 3. Medusa does have the Stone Gaze available. Sanity's Eclipse going to go out. It doesn't do all that much, however. And the Elder Titan, Purifying Flames, going to keep him alive. All in all, it just ends up being a 1-0. But G-Prides runs away, scampers away without any HP, and they'll give up their tier 1. They're not strong enough to take out the tier 1 mid, but there will be a 4-man smoke. PA nearby. She has the... oh, it does not have the blur active. But immediately into the pit with the Corrosive Haze and Serpent Wards. What a sly move from Infamous. They take out the tier 1. They know that G-Pride is now going to feel a little bit blind. They put up the ward on the high ground. And they'll go into Roche. Ancestral Spirit will be a little bit too late. And a kiss blown to the dying Roshan by Pepita as his carry Tomato picks. Oh, the Astral was used here by the OD. 1 TP in from Moose. They don't have multiple, though. This could just be a suicide by the Tusk. He's going to try and drag these creeps away, and in fact, he'll do his job. He gets them off the tower.
Radiant structures are
Glyph is going to be there as well. It's outside of deny range currently. But Infamous with some, again, disciplined moves in this one. They're very sort of objective oriented in the last couple games. The bottom tower does go down. Dire gets it. No last hit for any of the heroes here. Tomato. Pressuring in top lane, and the wraparound from Pepita. Taking a look at the Dire Vision, they do not see the Slardar. Now he will, though. And a nice juke through the trees. Just a simple, see you later.
Dire's top
by the Titan, but this will mean that the tower is quite vulnerable at this point. They will bring in the Oracle, but the vision is good from the Radiant here.
is under attack.
And the Dire cannot see this ward just yet. The Oracle, though, he'll make his move around. The Shadow Shaman finds him. Tomato nearby has the Omni Slash as well. Doesn't want to drop it, but the Hex is there. Won't need to. Gets a couple of crits. And no sentry for the Radiant side, so they can't see that Dire ward. But this will mean their tier 2 is gone. Nothing really taken. Well, mid lane, excuse me. Two-man crush comes out. Tomato going to TP in. Spin is there as well. Doom is onto the jug, but it shouldn't really matter. Snowball through. Nicely played by Moose, but they end up getting Pepita with a rotation. Now Moose going to turn around with the tag team. Sanity's eclipse through a couple. Will take him out, but they get the Panthera return kill, and now Omni Slash available. Nice spin by Tomato. He does have enough for Omni Slash. This is a solo Elder Titan here. Has the defusal in a couple seconds. Won't even need it. Tomato gets the kill on the back end. Ends up being a 3 for 2 overall, I believe. And that's what Fight Recap will state as well. They do lose the tier 1 in mid, but they got the tier 2 in top. So you have to say overall, Infamous feel pretty good about that. The Radiant end up getting the tower top. And Bernard gets the tower mid for the PA. So Infamous do still have the Aegis here on Tomato. And they will assemble as 5 as Moo joins them with an invisibility rune. Nice for him to pick up. Echo Stomp used here. Pepita has the blink. Gonna find the Titan. Gets the corrosive haze off. Will at least body him away from the tower. Fortune's End will be able to purge away that corrosive haze, but
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I'm just eager to use that ability as he just gets it recently. Pepita. Tier 2 taken out with this Aegis, and they'll even look to flank towards bottom here as 5. So, you know, the wave not nearly pushed out enough for Infamous. Bernard farming the jungle. There's no response for the
Are scanning.
G-Pride side. Excuse me, not for Infamous. As Infamous takes out all of the outer tier towers in this one. Sub 20 minutes. Feeling really good. We talked about the early game ability of this lineup
Dire's bottom tower.
before they picked that Dusa in the 5th slot. Jump forward. Pepita is going to find one. That is going to be the Panthera Doom. Infernal Blade out onto Moose. Bernard on the west side. TP's out on the PA, but the Doom will not be so lucky. And conveniently, Tomato is the one to find that kill. 4, 0, and 6 on the Juggernaut in this one. Alongside the Medusa up and the PA up at the top of the net worth chart. And Manta picked up here for Robo-Z. Personally, don't really love the item on the hero, but it's good against the dagger and it's good against the Doom. As it just makes it a lot more difficult to get the Doom off. You see that sword lift into the air, you just press that Manta. And now we see Infamous occupy this top side of the map. They do have some warding to get rid of, but they feel fairly comfortable in this area. A little more confined is the Dire lineup. G-Pride still have a mega farmed PA and a pretty damn farmed OD as well. Has the Kaya and Yasha. Yasha and Kaya. That often we see picked up for this OD.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Up on the high ground. Moose. Taking a look at Panthera mid. Pepita's not nearby though, so I don't believe they'll be able to make an attempt on his life. Vlad's picked up by Pepita Slardar.
Radiant's
Already
bottom
2
tower is
ultimate
under
orbs
attack.
here for Robo-Z. Gotta get swap this stuff here, no? Swap it up. I think. I'm not sure. Not sure what the math is on that, but holding on to the Tome of Knowledge right now is Wu. Not to be confused with Ben Jimin. Moo's going to secure his retreat with a shards. And the Dire are going to secure their jungle with a convoy of heroes. And a little bit of dewarding. And immediately TP's down to the bottom lane. Koto going to use his Astral and TP out. Some good Dota from both sides. But he does TP on top of a ward here. And they were aware that a lot of heroes were in top lane. They also get a conveniently placed double damage rune here. Pepita sprinting in the river. Has a blink. OD, though, backs off to safety. Some good movement from Koto in the last minute or so. Mid lane, though, they catch out the Oracle. This is a big one to find. Shards are beautifully placed by Moose. He will end up using the false promise, but it'll only delay the inevitable. It is exactly that, a false promise. And Moo's going to be the one to get the kill. And this is going to be a push towards mid. Aegis has expired, but they should be able to get, at minimum, significant damage on this tier 3. Of course, they're pushing into an Elder Titan, but they've got both Wards and Juggernaut who don't care about that Echo Stomp. Crimson Guard is going to be popped by Panthera. Kind of surprised he's even able to get that. And wow, the first Rax being threatened severely here by Infamous's side. Second Stomp will land on the Juggernaut, but Medusa will not be phased. And a lane of Rax down here for Gorillaz-Pride side. And despite the OD match at the Medusa certainly paying dividends here, although it has been Timato's Juggernaut and the play of the two supports that have pole vaulted Infamous to this position in the game. Sladen may be looking to make a move here, as they do have good vision, the Dire side do, but they find the Oracle. They'll blow him up immediately with the Omni Slash. The Doom will be next to fall. And now Berna with the BKB, but the Scotty's still going to keep her in range. And now, with the BKB expiring, nice play by Berna. Going to get the dagger on the exact target that threatens her life. That being the Slardar. Jump forward, though. Now the Slardar has his blink back off cooldown. Berna trying to blink away. Shards are going to be placed nicely, but Infamous going to look for that objective gaming. Medusa going to get banished up. Tomato going to end up using the spin here. Healing Ward is keeping the Tusk in fighting shape. Blink away from the OD. And they'll take the tier 3 and back as the Oracle respawns. Doom soon to do so as well. They will catch a Tusk on the backside, but I don't think Infamous care all that much. Oh, the imprisonment, though. They might care about this. Sanity's Eclipse onto Tomato. He will use his stick and the spin and try and make it away. Berna's hexed up, taking a lot of damage, but not sure it's enough to kill the PA. She is going to get imprisoned. Nice play. And the Doom goes out onto the Medusa, but he's really not the best Doom target. Tomato blinks back in, but he gets caught by the Echo Stomp. Nice Manta away, but he will end up falling more than likely to this PA. Meanwhile, on the west side, the Medusa and the Shadow Shaman will be cornered and brought down. And the OD going to imprison himself. Moose looking to go back in to find the kill. Won't be able to do so. And a massive, massive win as Tomato TP's out. The only survivor. A 4-0 on the backside. And all of that for a tier 3. So certainly not what you want to see happen. Over 4K net swing in G-Pride's favor. Okay, Tomato gets a kill. On Koto, of all people. So I was just going to talk about this, 5K experience swing and all that, but Tomato's still Tomato right now. And that is a beast in this one. So he will get Koto off the back of that, but still, Roche has spawned here. Jump forward from Pepita. He's going to get a 2-man crush off. They're going to know this is happening. They do have the, it feels like, enough force to contest this. Crimson Guard going to be dropped out. Tomato blinks forward onto the Oracle. They'll get the Aegis in the meantime. Berna's going to pop her BKB, though, so they can fight this PA. Buyback comes out from the Oracle, but the PA shreds the Shadow Shaman. Nice crush, though. Secures the kill on the Doom. Manta dodge is going to fail for Tomato, but the Earth Splitter does not connect either. Tomato blinking forward, finds the Oracle again. This is a dieback for Ryzen if he goes down. And it looks like he should. Yeah, he's definitely going to. And And they will, you know, cool guys don't look at explosions. They'll watch him walk away. Shadow Shaman back up in 10 seconds, so no big deal. Aegis not popped, I believe, but the BKB was used. Perhaps even more important for Ryzen. I believe it's 7 seconds now. It is. 20 seconds on cooldown, 7 seconds left. Looks like Radiant will make sure the lanes are good, and they certainly are. They've got this shrine to take out.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Nice micro there by RoboZ as he dodges the stomp before beaten in the wave. Maybe just waiting on the butterfly timing, or just waiting on the Aegis to expire here. Infamous. Again, we've, you know, characterized their play as very disciplined throughout the series, and it really does feel that way. And not to be stereotypical of the region, but it doesn't feel too much like the South American Dota we know. I mean, it's very objective based. They're aware of the scenarios that face them at any given point before the fights. They know where to be on the map, it seems. Perhaps the warding could improve a bit, but, you know, at this point in the game, you've got all the outer tier towers, so when you move towards the enemy side of the map, it's likely going to be in numbers. And PA going to use the blur to get under that wave and clear it up, help out her side. Does have a basher after that last fight, and has the Vit booster as well, so not too far off the Abyssal. Could be a really nice tool versus the Jug and spin versus, you know, if he gets doomed, he usually kind of spins and walks away during the animation, and if you can hop on him and Abyssal, that definitely bodes well for your chance to kill him. And that's, I think, why Infamous don't want to fight, knowing that don't have a second life on either of these big cores. OD going to show himself bottom lane, and likely that's going to allow Tomato to heavily shove in this top lane. They do get to tier 2 here, and yeah, they were wanting to use this Aegis advantage. They're in fact even going to push up high ground. Someone on the Dire side does ping the tier 4 as there are units inbound in mid. So don't look for them to commit too hard. Jump forward. They are going to catch the PA. She does have an Aegis and a BKB. And they'll purge that corrosive haste. So really just trying to force TPs back and then go back to defending their base, as the Megas will... Mega super creeps, I should say, will make their way towards the tier 4s. OD TP's back. They'll see that. Someone going to TP top lane as well, but it's an Aegis carrier. So perhaps the tandem of the Shadow Shaman and the Tusk. Oh, they found one with the Slardar. Looking for stragglers here. Snowball will connect. Yes, it does. Walrus punch into the air, and Pepito with one last strike of that club is going to find himself a kill. Ryzen going to be able to TP out in the trees. And there is the full Abyssal Blade. Could be a fight changer, but the Aegis is soon to expire, I believe. 1 minute or so. Butterfly almost complete for this Medusa. May even be flying out. It is. And there's a basher on Tomato. So as much firepower as the PA is bringing to the table, the Medusa and Juggernaut are able to more or less match 1-to-1. The OD is not far behind and doing fairly decently for a hero that doesn't farm nearly as quickly as the other 3 cores in the game. Bottom lane, Berna showing. Could just be killed off twice here. Is going to use the blur. Found out immediately. Mystic Snake. Oh, jump forward. Abyssal right onto the Slardar. I love this aggression from Berna. But he's going to end up getting hexed from the fog by Wu. So he's not able to pop his BKB. And now we'll pop it immediately. Corrosive Haze going to come out. But they don't really want to fight this. Jump forward. Omni Slash with the bash. False Promise gets him off to the east side. He blinks away, but they find the Doom on the west. And Tomato will finish off the Oracle, so they're just ignoring the PA at this point. Sladen comes through, does have a BKB on his Titan, but it really doesn't matter as they kill him off purely with physical damage. PA going to be taken to the north, and Koto running with his tail between his legs on the Outworld Devourer. Walks by a wave here. And they really don't care all that much as they've got creeps up towards the north side. No buybacks available for any of these heroes on G-Pride's side. And only the Oracle and the OD will be able to defend in 10 seconds. And by that time, they'll have lost this lane of Rax. And maybe we go immediately for tier 4s for Infamous, and that's exactly what Tomato will do. The creeps have already made good work of the first one, and they'll go in towards the second. Doom up in 2 seconds, Elder Titan in 5. No BKB on the Elder Titan. Stone Gaze going to be popped a little early. And they are going to end this one as the DCs, a flurry of them come out from Gorillaz-Pride. GG from Infamous, the BM Stone Gaze forcing out the DCs. As history repeats itself in this one, folks, Infamous earlier in the group 2-0ing Gorillaz-Pride, and after a good showing to make it back to this decider, Gorillaz-Pride, unfortunately, going to be taken out in this one. Tomato on his Juggernaut, the young phenom from SA, certainly one of the more well-known players as far as North America goes from South America, 10-0-9 on his Juggernaut. Had a very good game. Good mid lane as well, played by RoboZ. He had a bit of a struggle in the last one on his Dazzle, but this one, very admirable showing in the mid lane. He ends up 20k net worth as well. And really just kill involvement across the board. 14 kills for the Slardar, 19 for Tomato, 18 for Wu, 15 for the Tusk, and Medusa being Medusa did a lot of farming. But a lot of them high up in team fight percentage for their squads. And despite Berna's best efforts also sitting on 20k net worth, they just weren't able to get it done. We talked about kind of the ineffectiveness of the Doom against these cores. The Jug, the Slardar, and the Medusa. You've got the Sprint, the Spin, and Medusa just kind of stands there and right-clicks anyways. So the Doom pick just not really working out for Gorillaz-Pride, and partly that was on their early OD pick. Phase 1 OD pick in this game kind of forces them to cover their bases there, and unfortunately it doesn't end up panning out for them. In any case, guys, congratulations to Infamous. They will join Thunder Predator and Chaos Esports, Misery's kind of Pain Gaming HFN Wii squad. In the upper bracket. Gorillaz-Pride, though, still alive in this South American qualifier for Dream League Season 11, as they will start down in the lower bracket, along with SG Esports, who they just beat, and whoever is coming out of Group B, not entirely sure just yet. But stay tuned for that, guys. Dream League Season 11 continues over the next couple of days, all the way till February 3rd. I hope you enjoyed the cast. For tonight, we'll see you guys soon. It has been MRP, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, and Beyond the Summit, bringing you this one for DreamHack. If you enjoyed, you can follow me over on Twitter at MRP Dota, and you can of course follow at Beyond the Summit and at DreamHack Dota for everything Dota and Dream League.